Marvin Jones.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes, he's this team's number one wide receiver, but I don't know if you saw today, Lucas. Matthew Stafford has been placed on the COVID list for
It's
the
not looking
Detroit
like he's going to
Lions.
play.
It's not looking like he's going to play. So I actually, off the top of my head, I saw it earlier who their backup quarterback was. Is it Chase McDaniel? It might be. I can pull it up
Chase
right.
Daniel?
Chase Daniels. Is it Chase Daniels? I think it's
I
Chase
have no.
Daniels.
I believe you're right. I think you're right because I think there was some news coming out that was like, oh,
Yep, Chase Daniels.
Chase Daniels beat the Lions with the Bears on Thanksgiving, and now he's going to play for the Lions or something in the offseason. But yes, I believe you're right.
So, Chase Daniel, do you trust starting Marvin Jones as anything more than a volatile boomer bust wide receiver 3 if
Absolutely
Stafford
not.
can't go?
Absolutely not. Even if Stafford is there, I don't trust him more than a boomer bust wide receiver 3. I mean, you look at the numbers for Marvin Jones when he was the lead guy there with Kenny Golladay out at the beginning of the season. It's not promising. I mean, I'm looking at it right here. Week 1, he had 8 targets, 4 receptions, 55 yards, 9.5 points. Not terrible. Week 2, that dropped to 6 targets. Week 3, it dropped to 3 targets. Do you remember when Kenny Golladay came back, Shane?
That was I want to say week 4.
Week 4?
I can double check on that, but
I
listen,
don't believe
in terms of Galladay, I don't know when he's going to be back.
Yeah, it's concerning. I mean, Galladay is definitely concerning right now. Do you think it's worth it? I mean, if you really need to, if you're in a desperate spot, Shane, and you need wins now, are you trading Kenny Galladay away, even if it's low?
It depends on the price that you were looking for. I mean, if I'm looking at wide receivers here that I would trade Galladay straight up for, there's not really
Tyler Boyd.
names.
Would you trade him straight up for Tyler
absolutely.
Boyd?
Listen,
you're looking a little bit lower. Yeah, Tyler Boyd's been a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd's been better than Galladay this entire season. I'm trying to look at names like
Got it.
Like
Corey Davis,
Crowder. Corey Davis not there yet.
Got it.
Even though I should be, because you look at the numbers, it's not
He's
like
great.
Is it bad to say that I'm scared to trust him?
No, it's not. I am too. I mean, Corey Davis has been a bust thus far into his NFL career from a wide receiver standpoint and from a fantasy standpoint. And the fact that, I mean, I know week in and week out this season, he has yet to drop less than 10 points. Like, we're not the only ones who don't trust him, though. He was still available on a lot of waiver wires this week.
Still available in 50% of leagues right now.
Pick him up. Pick up Corey Davis. If you are listening to this right now and Corey Davis is on your waiver wire, pick him up. I have him ranked 21 this week, and that ranking is not going anywhere if he continues to perform like he has. He's getting the targets, and he's getting the numbers. He's had at least 10 points every single game that he's played this season.
Would you trade Kenny Golladay if in the same situation you put me in? Would you trade Kenny Golladay for DJ Chark or Brandon Cooks? Either one of those two.
Not Brandon Cooks. Not DJ Chark now. Just
Chark obviously
because
has
of
Lutton now
Minshew.
starting.
Yeah, just because of Minshew, not Chark, because I'm quite concerned about Jake Luton, who was a 6th-round pick out of Oregon State. So do not have high hopes, especially with we saw a late-round rookie there in Ben DiNucci absolutely look terrible. So I don't have high hopes for Jake Luton right now. But
what about
not either of those?
I'll do this last one here. What about straight up for Deontay Johnson? Had that 15-target game, 2 touchdowns, could have had 3. Last week only sees the 1 reception. What do you think?
Still probably not. Look, if I'm desperate and trying to trade, obviously, if you're not in a spot where you have to win now, do not trade Kenny Golladay away.
Yeah, it's not worth it for those
But
guys.
if I'm in a spot where I think I need to trade Kenny Golladay away, I'm probably going to look to try and get like a Cole Beasley or maybe a Cole Beasley or a Deontay Johnson.
You can get maybe a package deal, maybe a
J.D. McKissick, or something like that.
I would definitely
and a Phillip Lindsay, absolutely.
For sure.
I would be looking for some kind of package deal like that, which obviously on Kenny Golladay is still selling on the lower end. But those are guys who are going to get you, week in and week out are going to get you between, I mean, they could boom and get you a bunch of points at least Deontay Johnson. But
right now, there's no better time than to stock up on depth with the amount of players that we're seeing being placed on the COVID list, the amount of games that could get shifted around, with the amount of guys that get injured just in general. Acquiring depth is never a bad thing. Oh, how about this one? Kenny Golladay straight up for Travis Fulgham.
Oh.
Because I love Fulgham. You look at Fulgham's numbers, he's another guy that since playing hasn't put up less than double-digit points. scoring touchdowns like crazy.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz's go-to guy. I love Fulgham. I think I would do that.
If I'm desperate, I would do it. Alshon Jeffrey, Shane, you'll be happy to know I've officially dropped Alshon Jeffrey in most of my leagues. I am giving up on Alshon Jeffrey. I know what you said. But I'm giving up on Alshon Jeffrey. Fulgham, I'm liking me some Fulgham. If I'm desperate, yeah, I would do that straight up.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. So if you're in that spot, trade Galladay for Fulgham. We approve it.
I think you could get him, even if you're desperate. I think you could get it for like a Fulgham and a McKissick or a Fulgham.
Oh, yeah. Don't don't ever sell yourself short.
Do you think
always go for a higher price?
If you've got Galladay, you're looking at some potential really buy low guys. Do you think there'd be a scenario in which you could do, and obviously this wouldn't be straight up, but a scenario in which, this one I guess you could do straight up, where you get like a Kenny Golladay for Jonathan Taylor straight up, and would you do that?
Jonathan Taylor's interesting, and we can talk about him now if you want to, because obviously Nyheim Hines and Jordan Wilkins were very hot waiver additions this week. Yeah. You called it, Lucas. You said Taylor didn't look effective, didn't look explosive, might be dealing with an injury, and boom, Frank Reich comes out literally on Monday morning and says Jonathan Taylor has a minor ankle injury. Haven't heard any updates from practices this past week, so I don't know what his status is going into Sunday. If you're a Taylor owner, obviously I'm picking up Jordan Wilkins where available, just in that case, because you see 19-plus touches in a game at the running back position. Obviously, you're going to take that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially behind the Colts offensive line. So if you're able to snag that, I definitely would. When it comes to trading for Taylor, I don't know if I would.
What about Kenny Golladay for Travis Fulgham and Jonathan Taylor? Do you think that's something out there that somebody could get? I think so.
If you could get that, then that's
absolutely
amazing. That's amazing. Even if you don't even start Taylor this week. Like, obviously, Fulgham's on a bye right now, so you're crossing off this week in terms of Galladay, Fulgham, those two cross out. If you had to start Taylor this week, maybe you do. Maybe he gets you 10 points, but he hasn't done that at all this season. It's been mainly underwhelming. But if you got those two for Galladay, 100%, I don't even think that's selling low on Galladay. I think you look at the values in full for those guys, and you win that trade.